The company that was involved in the Coldplay KissCam drama, Astronomer, that's the company, right? CEO stepped down. They hire Gwyneth Paltrow as a spokesperson. So I had a feeling that they were trying to that this company they're trying to promote or the characters involved, because there's no such thing as bad news on the world stage, right? And I mean, they made that thing pop everywhere. There's Christine Cabot, who was also a part of the company, chief people officer, and that dude was like a CEO or whatever. Andy Byron, as you see him right there. And dude he's married, I guess. But Gwyneth Paltrow, so all characters involved here. You could see she has that Little Wayne birthday right there, September 27th. Emmy, Oscar and Emmy winning actress is now the spokesperson for the company Astronomer. She's also entrepreneur, of course. And look at you see some of the movies she's starred in right there. Now, one of those movies in particular I have in the breakdown here. And look who her husband is. Her husband, or I guess a former husband, look at that, Chris Martin, who's the guy who called for the kiss cam. You see that right there? That's the dude who called for the kiss cam, and then CEO dude who now stepped down. Like, I mean, that was obvious that was just, the band is Coldplay. That's obvious that was a play to draw some attention for this company Astronomer. But yeah, that kind of caught me off guard there because I was thinking that they were still married, the front man, Chris Martin. Astronomer right here, the company behind Astro, I guess. Is that the same thing? I don't know. A data orchestration platform powered by Apache Airflow. Right here, they empower data teams. It looks like they updated this, by the way. They empower data teams to build, run, observe, and manage data pipelines for data analytics and AI-driven applications. According to Wikipedia, Astronomer became a unicorn in 2022 with the valuation around 1.3 billion. But I mean, that's not why we're here. That's just a lot of blah blah blah, right? We want to get to this Gwyneth Paltrow news, as now she is the spokesperson for Astronomer. So we'll play this video. We'll play this video that I have right here.
The company caught up in the viral Coldplay KissCam video is putting out a bold new statement. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Gwyneth Paltrow. I've been hired on a very temporary basis to speak on behalf of the 300 plus employees at Astronomer.
Oh my gosh. The ad features actress Gwyneth Paltrow, of course, explaining what the company does. The bizarre part is that she's the ex-wife of Coldplay lead singer Chris Martin. This all comes after Astronomer's former CEO and HR chief resigned after, as you see there, they were caught on camera together on the Coldplay.
I mean, that was probably AI. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's probably pointing around. Where are they? That shit was probably AI, right? So temporary. So they hire just for like a commercial.
Play concert screen in Boston.
I don't know, but I want to show you connections that I have, as this is a decoding channel, right? If you didn't know, then now you know. So let me open this up. Okay, so look, she's in this movie Seven. I don't know if y'all heard of that movie Seven. You can see Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman. Now, it is still the month of July, right? So July is the 7th month. So I wanted to make sure that I put this in here. July, the 7th month. She's a character in that movie Seven, and now she's trending. Her character in the movie Seven, look at that. I didn't watch it, I've heard of it. Her character's name is Tracy Mills. Look at in the language right there. Tracy Mills connects to Astronomer. As you heard her say, she is a temporary spokesperson for Astronomer, and that's our Associated Press article. That's what they're highlighting here. That's just with the language. And of course, you get 138 to match up with Donald Trump. Once again, another trending story connected to Donald Trump by the numbers, letters, right? This is what's running these trending stories. It's the language, and you see the numerical values with the alphabet forwards right there, which is ordinal, and in reverse. Tracy Mills, 132 and 138, like Astronomer. What would be the odds of that lining up? Okay. And then you get Donald Trump in there again. And for those of you who didn't know, because I don't even necessarily remember, we can go over here. What is the movie Seven about? I miss when Google used to talk. It doesn't talk for me no more. But when retiring police detective William Somerset, who's Morgan Freeman, tackles a final case with the aid of newly transferred David Mills, they discover a number of elaborate and grisly murders. Ooh, what a movie. They soon realize they are dealing with a serial killer, Kevin Spacey. So is she. She's Tracy Mills. Maybe the wife of Brad Pitt. I'm not sure. But, just so you can get a little bit familiar if you didn't know, and we can go back over here and let me open this back up. And remember, we're in the 7th month. Now she's trending. Astronomer, the company whose CEO resigned after being caught on a KissCam at a Coldplay rock concert embracing a woman who was not his wife, is trying to move on from the drama with someone who knows the band pretty well, as she's the ex-wife of frontman Chris Martin. Actress Gwyneth Paltrow, look at this. I just caught another connection on the fly, who was married to Coldplay's frontman Chris Martin. Look at that. For 13 years. So you see that 1 in 3? I just saw that over here. Look at that right there. I'm telling you, this stuff is all by the numbers. Look at that. Astronomer became a unicorn in 2022 with the valuation around 1.3 billion according to Wikipedia. Chris Martin with Gwyneth Paltrow for 13 years, like 1.3. How about that? This announcement Friday on X that she has been hired by Astronomer as spokesperson. What do you think the chances are? NASA's founding anniversary, from as I speak right now, the founding anniversary for NASA, or the birthday, whatever, however you want to say it, is in 2 days. July 29th is the founding anniversary of NASA. And what is an astronomer, right? If you just put astronomer definition, someone who practices astronomy, look, the branch of science that deals with celestial objects, space, and the physical universe as a whole. You see that right there? Right? So isn't that interesting with the NASA anniversary right around the corner? Eisenhower signed the National Aeronautics and Space Act. You see that, and you see July 29th with the date. We get this astronomer company, astronomy, which is synced up with space when you just simply look at the language. Gwyneth Paltrow, she still got that Martin last name, but that's her ex-husband. It looks like, look at that. But her middle name looks like Kate. And remember, Katy Perry, according to the script, did go to the edge of space as part of a Blue Origin mission. Remember, that was heavily trending in April. Katy Perry, Gwyneth, Kate Paltrow Martin, Astronomer, Astronomy, NASA with the founding anniversary. You get this space connection, the 13-year marriage with Chris Martin, the front man of Coldplay, the 1.3 billion that synced up with the company. I mean, this syncs up with Seven, the movie. We're in the 7th month. You see the character Tracy Mills syncing up with Astronomer, the company hiring her as a spokesperson. What do you think? What do you think about that? That's pretty wild, isn't it? There was something I was going to go and enter something and I forgot. So I'll just go forward, and then if I think about it, we'll go search it. But let's just go forward here. It's pretty wild, isn't it? Okay, now check this out. Because you see the article date. Look at that article date right there. July 26th, and July 26th is the 207th day of the year. Gwyneth Paltrow equates to 207. A, B, C. 1, 2, 3. 207 with the article, the 207th day of the year? I mean, come on, right? So the article's the 26th. This is even, so that would be trending pretty heavy the following day, which is today, the 27th. 207 like 27. And you see Gwyneth Paltrow in reduction, you get the same 27, 207 like 27. Look, you get 72 in reduction. Her birthday is on the 27th of September. That birthday has 27 date numerology. That birthday is the 270th day of the year. So 207, 207, 72, 27, 27, 270 like 27. Even spokesperson, you get 172. You still get that 7 and you get that 2. And you know, that's amazing. Okay? So, completely by the numbers on this one. Let's play this other video, which may be the same, may possibly be the same kind of video here. I'll scan the article. And look, the movie Seven, you even get another 7 right there, right? Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt. I don't think that's the top movie that she's known for. But it's still amazing, I think, right? So let's play this other video, and then maybe I'll scan the article again. There's always going to be something I miss. You know, it happens.
Hi, I'm Gwyneth Paltrow. I've been hired on a very temporary basis to speak on behalf of the 300 plus employees at Astronomer. Astronomer has gotten a lot of questions over the last few days, and they wanted me to answer the most common ones.
The tech company Astronomer, which of course was where the man and the woman at the Coldplay concert worked and have since left.
They say the man and the woman because, dude, it's hard to even remember their names. It's like, why did it blow up so much? You know?
Hiring Gwyneth Paltrow, Chris Martin's ex-wife, to help with damage control.
I think it's clever, but Jessica, when it comes to crisis communications that have an impact on employee morale, which this one does, I mean, when two people who are in power at a company are violating company rules, that's very frustrating for employees. I think now is not the time to be kitschy. I think now is the time to be serious. What you're doing is you're keeping this saga in the news cycle, but in a more lighthearted way. But I think the focus during this time should be on the employees, not what the public thinks.
All right. Who does she look like? This isn't the same. This isn't.
Speak on behalf of the 300.
She's not the same one that was in that movie, Something About Mary. Who was that lady? Who was the lady in Something About Mary? This is completely on the fly. Cameron Diaz? Does she kind of look like Cameron Diaz? I don't know. I'm just going to, we're just going to go just slightly on the fly here. I don't know, man. I was getting, hold on. Cameron Diaz is born in 72 and her birthday is coming up in August. They appear to be the same age. That's interesting on the fly, isn't it? I think that's pretty interesting on the fly. Now, where did let me pull up Gwyneth Paltrow again, because I was getting Gwyneth Paltrow vibes here. Cameron Diaz vibes. They're both 52. That's definitely pretty interesting, and I'm not saying there's a connection or anything, but isn't that interesting? I was like, man, why am I thinking Cameron Diaz? Okay, I didn't catch that 72, did I? I don't think I caught that I didn't. Oh yeah, well I guess I could have pointed it out. Wow, she's even born in 72. Okay, but here's Cameron Diaz. I guess maybe they kind of look similar, huh? Maybe look a little bit similar. Interesting. So let's go over to the article here, and remember Gwyneth Paltrow. She was in Shakespeare in Love. I think that was her top movie. What was Gwyneth Paltrow's top movie? She's the daughter of Bruce Paltrow and Blythe Danner. Okay, but she was in Iron Man, Shallow Hal, Marty Supreme 7, Iron Man 3. I think it was Shakespeare in Love. But yeah, I'm not really a big movie guy. So let's just scan the article and just to see if anything else that we can add to the decode here. It was CEO Andy Byron who stepped down, and human resource executive Kristen Cabot. They were caught by the KissCam. Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy, and all of that. So I don't think there's much more here. I don't know. Did I ever enter KissCam? Let's enter KissCam here before we get out and just see. 75-21. I don't really, not really catching anything with that. So I think that maybe we'll leave it. Maybe we'll leave it there. Again, here's Chris Martin. Chris Martin kind of looks like somebody else as well. Man, he's 48 years old too. That number's been popping up quite a bit. Oh, and you know what I was going to look up? Coldplay's debut album. Because it had that glow. Talks to me again. There it is. There it is right there. And I have the original breakdown that I did on the story. Let's see if I can find it over here. Here it is right here. Let's pull up the original story that I have. Here it is right here. I wasn't thinking that. That might be interesting to pull up. We could just scan down it right there. Okay, so that was July 16. And you know what else is interesting about that NASA anniversary, July 29th? Is that's also Dak Prescott's birthday, who plays for the Cowboys. And that's interesting because the Cowboys have that star on their helmet. So that's interesting. That kind of goes with that whole NASA space thing. And you could see that album cover for Coldplay right there. And you could see that debut album parachutes right there. You know what's amazing is look at this I don't know if you could say predictive programming, but like symbolism, isn't that awesome? Not just the NASA thing, but the look, a close-up photograph of a yellow globe. That's interesting because Hulk Hogan died. Hulk Hogan is a big star. That is amazing. And he's known for wearing that yellow. So that's pretty damn amazing, right? And they refer to these characters as stars. Ozzy passed. Ooh, Ozzy had Bark at the Moon. Holy crap. Ozzy had Bark at the Moon. You got the NASA founding anniversary, July 29th. That's awesome. You get the yellow globe here. You get Astronomer. You get the Katy Perry connection with Gwyneth Paltrow's middle name being Kate. Damn. That's awesome. You get Hulk Hogan with the yellow. And I remember Bumble was trending as well, like Bumblebee, about a couple of weeks ago. And I was connecting that to the Bay Hive with Beyonce. There was a lot of yellow going on. Damn. Oh yeah, and Natasha Cloud won I think it was the skills competition. Okay, and you can see how that connected to Trump there. Wow, and there's 88 constellations in the sky, man. With all the eights that have been going on. Look at that. So this is our original story here. That's wild. And there's that 138 that connected there, and the 138 connected with the character in the movie Seven with Gwyneth Paltrow. Kristen Cabot has the 183. Okay. And look at how close that came to the 137. Ooh. And Buff Bagwell, the NWO. Just like Hulk Hogan. Look at that. And I connected Buff. You could see that 137, and it was a 137-day span from Chris Martin's birthday to that concert. Look at that right there. So look at how that connects with the yellow and Hulk Hogan. And remember, Hulk Hogan equals 146, and that's Donald Trump's birthday, the 14th day of the 6th month. Look at how it all comes together. And 13/7, the 13th day of the 7th month, that was the day that Trump's ear, this bang, bang, pow, pow, the first attempt to get him out of here. That was the 13th day of the 7th month. Wow. Okay. All right. So, and look, she even has that eye covered up right there. That's probably AI. I mean, that just looks so AI, man. Okay. So, how sweet is that? So, that's pretty awesome. All right. So, Gwyneth Paltrow. That's pretty cool, man. So that's why I save all of the prior work. NASA anniversary right around the corner. That's pretty cool right there. Coldplay, movie 7, as we're in the 7th month with that NASA founding anniversary. You get this whole space theme. I think it's something to do with the stars. Hold on, 7? Hold on. How many planets are there? Did it sound like I said it any did it sound like I said any? 8 planets. Okay, well that hits with all of the 8s that have been going on. That's pretty wild. So this is there's like something symbolism going on here with the sky. And I've been mentioning that because Skydance merged with Paramount trending as well. Okay. And I've been saying there's been a lot of Sky. Justin Skylar Fields was trending as well for the toe injury. His middle name's Skylar. Oh, I guess it's with the ER. Okay. Right. And he plays for the Jets, like the sky. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed. I didn't plan any of that. Free man. I didn't plan any of that last 15 minutes there. So that's amazing. Maybe I'll just start going live from now on. I like doing live, but then they want to charge you after so long and you only get so many hours. I don't know. Company involved in Coldplay KissCam drama hires Gwyneth Paltrow as spokesperson. Some may say no big deal, but if this stuff hits trending, it's for a reason. I think I did more than my share here to show you this. All of these stories are completely connected. I get excited because I catch most of that stuff on the fly to go with what I already have here. We refer back to the previous breakdown. We may have went around freaking 40 minutes again. It is what it is. I hope you enjoy knowledge. I hope you enjoy learning about the fake world and catching these connections, as I'm glad to share it with whoever's out there, AI included. Shout out to y'all, man. Until next time.